Up the sideline 50. RG3 electrifying all the way into the end zone. RG3 for the touchdown. Can you believe it?
Before we go live to D.C. to watch RG3 and the Redskins have practice number 2 of the day, we introduce you to our panel here. Top left, Marshall Faulk is in San Diego. Brian Baldinger live in Atlanta. Sean O'Hara in studio. And Charlie Casserly live with the Redskins. Charlie, you are there on site, though, so you bat leadoff for us. And I know RG3 is dealing with the knee, and we're wondering how much he might play in the preseason, if at all. Let's get past that. How does he need to improve the most from that excellent rookie season into building on that in year 2?
Yeah, Paul, I think it's his ability to throw in the straight drop-back game. The issues that I saw when I watched him last year are when you go to the second level, the ability to go to the second and third receiver in a rhythm and consistently, and accuracy downfield in that middle area. So those are the things he needs to improve upon, which is only natural coming out of the Baylor offense. The problem, Paul, is he's not had an opportunity to do that because of the injury, and he still can't get the needed practice time because he's still rehabbing.
When I look at it, RG3, I mean, let's be honest. He had a great year last year. We can say that every quarterback that gets an opportunity to play his rookie year, that he's going to need things to work on. I believe he and Kyle and Mike Shanahan looked at the tape and they circled some things and say, hey, here's what we want to do better. I don't think there's a quarterback in the league right now that feel like that they need to work harder on their drop back game. I think they all do, because the game is sort of evolving. What they do now, the fact that you don't have to turn your back to the defense anymore with play action, RG3 and what they're doing, getting them out of the pocket, the knee is going to hold him back. The thing that concerns me the most about where he is and what they're doing is the first 2 games, if he plays no preseason, they're basically sacrificing game 1 and maybe half of game 2, getting him up to NFL game speed, because last year was last year. I played 13 years in the league. I know that you need a little preseason to get you ready for game time, regular season speed.
Yeah, Marshall, I mean, just listening to RG3 at the press conference yesterday saying he can forego preseason and be ready to go with mental reps. I never buy that, and players don't really know that until they try it. And all of a sudden they get out there and it's not clicking, it's not sharp, it's not what it needs to be. And just think about all the players around him, Pierre Garçon, Fred Davis, the guys that he's throwing the ball to, they need him at game speed in preseason to build the timing. You can't catch passes from Kirk Cousins all preseason and think that RG3 is just going to come in, it's going to be the same. It's not the same. And so I think they're a little short-sighted there thinking that way. Although if it's all about health, I'm all for it right now. If the extra month is going to help them down the road and be more confident and stronger, then that's the price you might have to pay.
Yeah, guys, I'll bet cleanup here. I think if we're going to break out the microscope and we're really going to look at, all right, what does RG3 need to improve on for this year? I'm going to look at third down. You know, they were 24th in the NFL last year on third down. And to me, I look at the fact that they were the #1 rushing offense. So that means if you're running the ball on first and second down and you have Alfred Morris, the production that he brought on, you're in third and short. You're in third and 2 to 3, third and 3 to 4. You're not in third and 7 plus a whole lot. So I think for him, he has to improve in that aspect. And that goes back to what Charlie's talking about, being in the pocket, the drop back passing, seeing the defense, seeing the blitz, understanding what type of coverage you're getting. Are they trying to bait you by dropping down the safety and then flying them back from the line of scrimmage at the snap? So those are things that are going to be tough. It's hard to simulate those in practice. Like you said, Baldy, the mental reps, that sounds great. And the fact that he's doing 7-on-7 in practice is great. But when it comes down to week 1 against the Eagles on Monday night, that's going to be a totally different ballgame if you haven't taken live reps and you're trying to read that coverage, you're trying to make a throw with a defender in your face trying to tackle you.
RG3 and his Washington Redskins practicing for the second time here on this Thursday. You're watching it on Inside Training Camp Live. And, Charlie, we don't spend as much time on the defense because of the focus on number 10 right there. We all get that. And I also know numbers don't always tell the whole story, but I look at the numbers from last year with the Skins defense. I see 28th total defense, 22nd scoring defense, last in the league in third down defense. How much better can we expect this group to be with the return of Brian Orakpo?
Well, certainly Orakpo is going to give them a bookend on the pass rush, something they were lacking last year. So that's a plus. Their front seven can play the run, so that's a second plus. The secondary is really the issue. D'Angelo Hall, his play has dropped off because of speed. Josh Wilson, he's not an elite corner. So to me, they have a weakness at corner. Now, they drafted in the second round David Amerson, North Carolina State, a very talented, athletic, ball-hawking corner who had a subpar senior year. He gambled too much. So I would say corner is a liability right now. Safety, they drafted Phillip Thomas, Bakari Rambo, two guys that have instincts in the secondary. But again, the secondary to me is going to be a work in progress. But if the offense stays high, Orakpo helps the pass rush, they stop the run, they can just not give up the big play, they can win again. Remember, New England can't stop anybody with their secondary, and they seem to be in the championship or Super Bowl every year.
Listen, I hear us harp on defense, and we always ask, boy, how good is the defense going to be on teams? But when you have a dynamic quarterback, you can mask and cover up just about anything and everything, and we forget that the Washington Redskins, I believe they made the playoffs last year, and not to mention the Green Bay Packers, they won the Super Bowl, and their defense, they weren't that good. And when you think about the New England Patriots, Charlie, you said it, they find a way to cover up the issues with their defense, and I believe if their offense can control the ball, possess the ball, control the clock, do all the things necessary, it's going to take pressure off London Fletcher in that defense. Jim Haslett I think he did a great job of what he had. Losing Brian Orakpo was huge last year. Getting him back is going to help, but I believe that defense, they're going to challenge themselves to get somewhere in the middle of the pack because they understand what they have on offense, and they will be better.
Checking out the right knee right there. A lot of focus on that right knee at number 10. RG3 and the Washington Redskins, the defending champions in the NFC East. Throughout this hour and throughout Inside Training Camp Live, we'll continue to visit the Redskins. We're back right after this.